Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Today, we are tackling a topic that affects pretty much every single homeowner in the Houston area, Harris County property taxes. More specifically, we're going to look at how to handle them online safely, securely, and efficiently. So let's dive right in. Frustrated by property tax deadlines in Harris County? Trust me, you are definitely not alone. Every single year, as that January 31st deadline starts looming over us, the anxiety of potential late penalties really starts to creep in. There's that familiar, frantic rush to write the check, track down a stamp, and just pray the Postal Service processes it in time. It's incredibly stressful, right? Well, stick around because today we're going to show you a completely stress-free way to pay online that basically bypasses that entire postal hassle. We're exploring the My Harris County Tax Portal. It's a simple, secure, and fully digital solution to just get that tax bill out of the way. Here's a quick rundown of our agenda for today. 1. Intro to online property taxes. 2. The step-by-step payment process. 3. Important details and tips. 4. Troubleshooting common payment problems. And 5. Actionable insights for homeowners. All right, let's kick things off with Section 1. Intro to online property taxes. Okay, so get this. Listen to this direct warning from Annette Ramirez, the Harris County Tax Assessor Collector. She points out that because of changes in mail processing, a letter you drop off today might actually not get postmarked for days. And since your payment is only considered on time if that postmark beats the deadline, mailing a check has become a huge gamble. The anxiety of having to march into the post office and demand a manual postmark just to avoid late fees? Yeah, that's entirely unnecessary when you move your payment online. And that brilliant workaround is My Harris County Tax. This is the official, highly secure payment platform for the Harris County Tax Office, and it's operated by PayIt. It uses the highest security protections available, fully encrypting your data to protect your privacy. It really is the ultimate modernized way to completely dodge those unpredictable mail delays. Moving right along to Section 2, the step-by-step payment process. Honestly, the absolute best part here is just how painless this workflow actually is. Even if you're a complete beginner to paying bills online, do not worry. You're literally just looking at 4 high-level steps. Visit the website, search for your property, add your bill to the cart, and securely check out. That's the whole shebang. Let's zoom in a little bit on those first 2 steps. Right off the bat, when you hit the portal, you've got a choice. You can either create a profile to log in or just continue as a guest. We'll talk about the perks of setting up a profile a bit later, but either way, finding your property is super flexible. You can search by your specific tax account number, your physical property address, or, just type in the property owner's name. Now, hold up, because this next part is a critical warning if you happen to be behind on past years. The system absolutely mandates that bills must be paid in chronological order. Any partial payments you make online will automatically apply to the oldest delinquent years first. You can't just skip a past due year to pay the current one. Actually, scratch that. The system literally won't let you. It enforces that oldest to newest rule. Which brings us to Section 3, important details and tips. Let's talk timing, because in the property tax world, the calendar is everything. Tax bills typically start going out around October 1st, but the date you need to circle, highlight, and underline in red is January 31st. Online payments must be totally completed by 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time on January 31st. Because I kid you not, at the stroke of midnight on February 1st, steep penalties and a 1% monthly interest rate immediately kick in. Oh, and keep May 15th in the back of your mind, too. That's generally your deadline to protest your home's appraised value with the Harris Central Appraisal District. Okay, let's talk about the cost of convenience, because as we all know, nothing is entirely free. Paying online has some fees attached. By far, the most cost-effective route is the e-check, which is just a direct bank transfer. That carries a tiny, non-refundable 50-cent fee. If you opt for standard credit or debit card, you'll get hit with a 2.4% convenience fee. And to put that into perspective, on a massive tax bill, that 2.4% adds up really fast. Also, fun fact, Visa consumer debit cards have their own specific separate flat fee of $3.95. And hey, whatever payment method you end up choosing, double, no, triple check your numbers. If you accidentally enter the wrong bank routing info for an e-check, or if your payment bounces and gets rejected by your bank, the tax office slaps a very strict $30 administrative charge right onto your account. So precision definitely pays off. Let's pivot slightly to Section 4, troubleshooting common payment problems. Look, if things go sideways, knowing exactly who to call is half the battle. if you're wrestling with technical issues on the website itself, think forgotten passwords, weird screen glitches, or a checkout error, you need to contact Pay It support at 585-776-7014. But if you have a question about the actual dollar amount of your bill, an exemption that randomly dropped off, or any kind of dispute over the taxes you owe, Pay It can't help you with that. For those deeper, account-level questions, you absolutely must contact the Harris County Tax Office directly at 713-274-8000. Finally, we've arrived at Section 5, Actionable Insights for Homeowners. Remember a few minutes ago when I mentioned checking out as a guest? Well, if you take just 2 minutes to actually create a My Harris County Tax profile, it unlocks some pretty fantastic organizational perks. You can set up automatic email reminders so you never blow right past that January 31st deadline again. If you happen to own multiple properties, you can link them and pay them all in one fell swoop. Plus, you get a secure little digital vault for your payment methods and a permanent record of all your past receipts. It's super handy. Now, what if you are already falling behind? Don't panic. There is a real lifeline available called an installment payment agreement. For standard homeowners staring down delinquent taxes, entering into one of these formal, structured plans is absolutely crucial. Why? Because it immediately freezes your account from being handed over to a law firm, and that avoids a completely massive 15 to 20% attorney collection fee. Now, just keep in mind, while that giant collection fee is frozen, a 1% penalty and interest charge is still going to quietly accrue each month until you pay the balance off. Here is a huge tip for those of you who pay your taxes through your mortgage company's escrow account. Don't just set it and forget it. You have to review your annual escrow analysis every single year. If your home's appraised value suddenly spikes, or if your exemption status changes for any reason, your escrow might be severely undercollecting. Catching that early prevents a massive, nasty surprise shortage demand from your lender, where your monthly mortgage payment just skyrockets overnight to cover the difference. Now, before we officially wrap things up, just a quick professional disclaimer. This explainer is designed purely for informational purposes, to help you better understand the resources put out by entities like the Texas Comptroller and the Harris County Tax Office. That said, you should always consult the tax office directly or a qualified legal or tax expert to verify the exact details and specific obligations for your unique property. So there you have it. We've covered the hidden, stressful risks of mailing checks, we've walked through the step-by-step portal process, and we've mapped out strategies to avoid those hefty late fees. You now have the complete picture. So my final question to you is, are you going to let another year of tax deadline anxiety run the show, or are you ready to take full control of your financial obligations today? Don't wait around hoping the mail gets there on time. Log on, get it done, and enjoy your peace of mind. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.